Okay, so I wanted to make a sit down video. First off, I look cute today. I just got back home, so I have been wanting to do this YouTube video. I guess I'm gonna call it like owning a business as a shy, non-confrontational person, or being a creative as a shy, non-confrontational person. I actually don't like the word shy at all. Like, I don't like to describe that as myself, but when you really look at the definition, I am shy. I'm shy. Like, if we're gonna be truthful and like go by the definition, I'm shy. But I would just say that I'm like reserved, like I'm laid back, chill, reserved, all that. So we're gonna get into this video. Hi, I'm Azjuré Yah. I am a fashion designer, clothing brand owner, seamstress, content creator. Welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be just a video like encompassing all the things that I have that I've experienced while being a business owner, which is a very exciting topic. So I'm very excited, so let's just really get into it. I have owned my business now I started my business on my 19th birthday, which was 2021. So that is the day that I launched my website. I launched my Instagram like a couple days before that, I think, which was the first time I had ever gotten Instagram. I didn't have Instagram, Twitter, none of that before launching it for my brand, August of 2022. So that was when I started doing my first fashion show, all that. I did my first fashion show. I did like a fashion show like the month after my first one too, so I was just like on a roll. I've done shows in LA. I did my first show in LA in September. I did my first show in New York in February of 2023, and then the LA show was in September of 2023. And then I just did a New York Fashion Week show in this past February of 2024. So I'm just saying all this to like give you guys a background of what me and my brand have like experienced thus far. There are a few things like as a designer, as a creative, as a business owner that I feel like I have a different kind of experience with because I'm like not as forthcoming. First off, I have a very speak when spoken to kind of mindset or kind of outlook. I feel like I'm good with people, but I just feel like I'm more of one of those people that just looks back and observe.
I just sit back and observe.
Also, a thing about me is that I don't really go out a lot. Like, I live in Atlanta, okay? And one thing about Atlanta is gonna have something to do pretty much every day. I stay in the house more so than I would say I go out. I'm trying to come out of that, but that's how I grew up. Like, growing up, I did extracurricular activities and stuff. I never really like was one of those kids that was at their friend's house like every weekend, sleeping over, you know, like going to school and just being attached at the hip with somebody. I was a very keep to myself kind of kid. Me doing that during like 9, 10, 11, 12 led to me doing the same thing, being to myself at 13, 14, 15, 16. And my freshman year was my last full year of public school. So imagine just being in online school for the majority of the rest of being in public school for the majority of your high school career from a very early age was to myself. I say all of that to say that it like built up to now my adult years where I have a business that I need to that I'm the face of, that I need to represent for. And I found myself in the house, which is nothing wrong with being in the house. I'm saying it to say that for me having a business, I don't do enough shaking hands and like networking in person as I need to do. I use social media as like my main networking marketing type of thing. But back in the day, they wasn't using social media. You know, you had to actually put that work in. Not to say that you're not putting work in on social media, but social media is just such an easier route to like get your brand out there. Even if you don't have a big platform, like just being able to post a video and the potential of it being seen by thousands, millions of people, that potential doesn't exist with just going out on the street. You don't necessarily have the same potential to reach thousands, millions of people on the street with no social media as you do with social media, just posting a video, you know? It should be a balance. I don't balance it out. Like, I will say that I don't balance it out. I use Instagram, TikTok, and all that, and I should do that because that's smart in this day and age to promote your brand. Those are very useful tools that you should be using if you're a business owner, creative. It's also needed is just that in-person shaking hands, in-person talking, in-person networking, all of that is needed. I need to get more of a balance between my social media marketing and my in-person marketing, or my social media networking and my in-person networking, because this is Atlanta. Like, if you know anything about Atlanta, if you've never been to Atlanta, like, Atlanta is a place where there are so many different people, like so many entrepreneurs, so many creatives, so many designers, so many like people of a certain status that can help you and that, you know, can network with you, that might even be in the same lane as you, that you can network with. Like, and this is such like a Black excellence central, like restaurants, clothing stores, businesses. This is it. Like, if you have a business and you're Black and you want your business to like be seen by a city that's, you know, known for its entrepreneurship and its Black entrepreneurship, Atlanta is a great area for that. And I feel like that's what I feel like. I feel like I don't take advantage of Atlanta like I should. Atlanta is a perfect place for entrepreneurship in a way. I feel like it's one of the top cities to be in as a Black entrepreneur or as a Black creative. Like, obviously other creatives might have a different opinion. I know this because my parents, my family, we have a vegan business, and I see the love and support that they have, like a community that loves their food. That's literally why we moved here. My dad knew that he wanted to start a vegan business, a vegan restaurant, and we moved here. That was the main reason, because we knew that we were about to start a business. Top cities for Black entrepreneurs, that's what I looked up. It says Washington, D.C., Atlanta's the second, Houston, New York City. Atlanta is the prime hub for development and culture in the South, from tech startups to restaurants. Minorities own a diverse range of businesses. As the capital of Georgia, Atlanta is an ideal location to start a business. I feel like as a clothing brand owner in my demographic, the most popular style is streetwear. The popular stuff that you'll see here is like streetwear brands. As a designer, I do all types of clothing styles. Like, I do ball gown dresses, I do streetwear, I do lounge wear, like stuff like that. But I feel like being in Atlanta, I definitely need to use streetwear to pull people in. Like, I don't have to make that my main theme, but I definitely need to incorporate that theme in order to pull people my age in and older. But there's another thing. I don't even do a lot of like pop-ups and stuff around my age range. Like, I'm 21 years old. When you're a clothing brand in Atlanta, as far as like marketing your brand in Atlanta, like, you could do fashion shows or pop-ups. I feel like those are the two main things that you can do. And me, I have fallen more on the side of fashion shows. Like, fashion shows are what I do the most. I feel like they're what I do best. My brand is able to be seen by a big group of people, a large group of people that I can say my social media to, that I can like say to a big, large crowd at one time. When you're doing a pop-up, nobody has to come up to your brand. You have to individually like speak to everybody that you see And pretty much if you want to like gain customers, and you're definitely not guaranteed to sell anything. You're definitely not guaranteed to sell anything. When I pay to participate in a fashion show, I'm more so paying for the exposure and the experience and being able to have my clothes seen by a large audience. When I pay to vend somewhere, when I pay to do a pop-up, I'm paying in the hopes of one of my pieces selling, and that's not a guarantee. Like, it's definitely not a guarantee. And I found that like when I do pop-ups, I don't really sell a lot. Little story time. I did the Atlanta streetwear market. Atlanta streetwear market is a huge event here in Atlanta. It's a streetwear event. Like over 100 brands are able to vend there and sell there, and they're mostly streetwear brands, obviously. So it's literally a clothing brand owner's dream to probably vend there if they're living in Atlanta and they're new on the horizon, because you want your business to be seen by a bunch of people. You want to be able to have like a big opportunity to get your clothes sold. And Atlanta streetwear market has those things. Like, I vended there back when they were in the Ambient Studios location. If you know, you know. I think this was in 2022, and let me tell you, I literally sold nothing. Me, I'm the type of person who, what's for me is for me, and what's gonna come to me like as a blessing is gonna come. So it just wasn't my day, you know. It wasn't my time. Also, I wasn't as skilled as I am. I didn't even have a serger back then, so my pieces were not as finished as they should have been. I will definitely be honest. Like, my stuff definitely looked handmade. It looked handmade versus how you would want. It was still an amazing experience because I got to just be in that environment, which I had been going to the streetwear market like before, and I just loved the vibe there. Like, I love the energy. I also did the sneaker exit. Those are big streetwear events. My clothing was not the same type of thing that you would see, so I would feel like it's obvious that I'm not gonna be selling a lot if I'm not selling like sneakers or hardcore streetwear or stuff like that. With my brand, I started out doing pop-up shops. Like, I started out vending. I didn't start with fashion shows, but once I started doing the pop-ups and I was seeing that, you know, I wasn't really selling, and I'm also not a very talkative person. So I was like, girl, if you're not selling and you're not like making sure you're just putting yourself out there and like just going out, not even just talking to the people that are at your booth, because I would talk to the people who like came near my booth, sure, and not even all of those, but like actually going out like into the actual event and like speaking to people who aren't even at your table, just being like, hey, I have a table over here with some dope designs, you know, you should come over whenever you get a chance. Just doing stuff like that. If you're not gonna do that, and if you're not gonna sell anything, then I should put that money into fashion shows. Like, that was my thinking as I started doing more fashion shows. I feel like I do better at fashion shows. Like, that was what my thinking was, because all these people can see my clothes. They are here, they're sitting. I don't have to say like, hey, can you come over here and look at my booth? Like, no, you already came to the event to see designs. A lot of the shows, I get to get on the mic and share my name, share my social media, share like just my personality. You get to know me a little bit better, and you know, I get to meet a bunch of designers, models, and like event organizations along the way. In my head, I was like, yeah, let's do that. That sounds more my speed. This is so interesting because now I've done a lot of fashion shows. That thinking was at the beginning when I first started doing fashion shows. But now I'm thinking like, I've done a lot of fashion shows. What I really want now is to be able to sell my stuff. Like I want to get into that area. That is my main goal for my brand. I want to get into an area where I can sell my pieces and that be like my main source of income, you know, like that be one of my main sources of income, you know, because this was always the plan. Like when I was turned 14 and got my first sewing machine or whatever, and got in my fashion design class and made my first skirt, made my first dress, you know, was on YouTube just looking up tutorials and stuff. This is what it was for. Like it was for me to be my own boss. This is why I've been doing this since 14. This is why I went to school for this. This is why I opened up my brand for this. This is why I've been going to fashion shows. This is why I've been traveling across the country with my parents' help. This is why my parents have been supporting me, because this is like the goal. Like this is what I want. I want my clothes to be what makes me rich. I don't even care about having like a bunch of money or anything. I want to be able to have a prosperous business. I want my business to have prosperity and success. Giving is how you receive. I want a prosperous business. I want my business to see like as many figures as it can. I pray that God is going to take me up, like is going to take my business up, like have me just go up. From like 5 years old, like I can remember my father, like really young like that, I can remember my father telling me and my brothers like, be your own, encouraging us to be our own boss and, you know, make money off of our own gifts and stuff like that. And because of that, I never even thought I would work a regular traditional job. I don't have a problem with working my job. I'm very thankful that I have a job that I can make money from, but that job is not my dream. Like my dream is to be able to make money off of my talents and off of my gift that God has given me. And that's what I want for my brand next. I want to start making more revenue off of my business and off of my designs. Since my show in February, New York, I've been like thinking about what I should do like next. Like, do I want to keep doing fashion shows, or do I want to start more into pop-ups and like get into stores, or even like doing like a thing where I set up in a store and pay money to just have my clothes in a store. I want to start vending and like doing pop-ups and stuff. This is just like a rant of what my experience, what my journey is right now as an entrepreneur. Being shy as an entrepreneur is not very good, because for you being that shy entrepreneur, there's 50 other entrepreneurs who have that go get it mindset. I'll say that I have a get to the money mindset, but girl, you don't if you're taking so long to like speak to somebody because you're thinking like, you know, like, no, girl, cut that shit out. You know? Let's just say a person, you try to give somebody your business card and they be like, no, I don't want it. Big deal. Like, just be like, oh, okay, and go. But to me, I be psyching myself out, which is nothing but like, that is not light, that is not positivity, that is not what I want around me, like something that's psyching me out and making me anxious. No, that is not what I want for me and my business. So I really need to get better. In fact, I really need to do this. I need to start doing more pop-ups and vending so that I can get out of this like shy, reserved, laid back mindset. I feel like I first need to start going out more. I need to be more forthcoming with people. I need to start putting my name out there more, just being more talkative with people. And I want to start doing more pop-ups, teaching myself more sewing techniques just to get my sewing, my stitching, my production better, because there's always more to learn. Get my brand seen by people in a like ongoing flow of heavy traffic. I have such big dreams for this, like even YouTube. And we are not playing no games. Like 2024, I'm really trying to take this up, like take this all the way up. Consistent money from my brand. I'm trying to, you know, just gain more support, all of that. I really hope that I got to resonate and relate with a lot of you guys watching. And I hope that you guys will continue to watch. Please subscribe, follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my other socials, all that. And yes, more designs coming